Okay, let's see how much you remember. What chords are, oh, grab your worksheet and do this with me. What chords live on diminished island? Your answer should be B chords, BDF. 3 plus 3 half steps, a diminished chord. All right. Who lives in Minersville? What chords are inherently minor if they have no sharps and flats? I'll give you a second to fill that in. The answers are D chords, E chords, and A chords. So DFA, EGB, ACE, those are inherently minor if they have no sharps or flats on them. You can remember this because DEA stands for Drug Enforcement Agency, and their job, in part, is to keep drugs and things away from minors. Okay, that's used to be funnier back in the day, but hopefully you remember that. The DEA, minor chords. Okay, who lives here? Well, F chords, C chords, and G chords. So FAC, CEG, GBD, they're all 4 plus 3 half steps, right? Who lives here in the augmented heavens? There's a third kind of chord that we've been talking about. Very rarely, if you have a 3 plus 3 and a 3 plus 4 and a 4 plus 3, it's possible to have chords that are 4 half steps and 4 half steps there theoretically. Although it doesn't happen on the white keys of the piano. You have to use a sharp or flat or something on some of the notes to make that bigger space there. So it's like the answer is nobody does there. Okay, so if we're going to change a chord from here into diminished into minor or minor into major, then we're going to raise things. What is the symbol for raising things? That is sharp. What does that look like? Draw it in. Beat me to it. If you can't, then you don't know this well enough. It looks like a pound sign, right? Okay, if we're going in this direction, making augmented into major, into minor, into diminished, we're lowering things, right? What is the symbol for lowering a note? It's called a flat, and it looks like a stylized B. All right, now, here's the money part. These are the borders. They tell you what to lower or raise, and you really have to have these memorized. All of this needs to be really well memorized for us to do what we call truly complex triads. So the answer is to go from a major chord to a minor chord or a minor chord to a major chord, we lower or raise the third of the chord, right? That's the middle note. And what if we want to go from minor to diminished or diminished to minor? It's the fifth of the chord, which is the top note. And we haven't talked about it very much, but hopefully you've memorized this table. If we're going from major to the augmented heavens, you modify the fifth of the chord again. Think of it like it's on the top of it. It's getting its wings to go up there. They raise them up, right? Okay. Now, let's go down to here. So this is just review right here on this worksheet. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Nope, I can't. All right. So, D triads. Let's spell them. DFA, right? Okay. What quality is it? Now, if you have to look back at the table, you don't know this well enough. You should know that D chords are inherently minor. Okay? I'm going to give you a second to spell this chord and then pick which one it is. Okay? A chords are spelled ace. And their inherent quality is also minor. Okay? If you're lagging behind me, then you need to restudy these and redouble your study. F chords are spelled F-A-C. And they are major. Again, you should be in front of me on this. E chords are E-G-B, Egbert. And they are inherently minor. Notice how augmented is not even a choice here because none of these guys are going to be augmented without a sharp on the fifth or something like that. B chords are B, D, F. Some of you might find that actually of all these things, remembering how to spell this is still not quite clicking, despite augmented is not even a choice here because none of these guys are going to be augmented without a sharp on the fifth or something like that. B chords are B, D, F. Some of you might find that actually of all these things, remembering how to spell this is still not quite clicking. So B chords are diminished. G chords are GBD, and they are major. C triads are keg, and they are major. All right. Do that one on your own after this video, and then see how long it takes you. See if there's a step that's a problem for you, and then go back and fix that. All right. I'm going to do some of these, and then you'll complete them on your own. So an F augmented chord, well, F major chord, F minor, and F diminished. All F chords have F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C, and F, A, C. And they live in where we call major land on the diminished island diagram. So you don't have to do anything to make it major. It's already major. But if we wanted to make it minor, we would lower the third. And remember, this is root, third, and fifth. And so we flat the third, F, A flat, C. And if we wanted to make it diminished, first we'd make it minor. So F, A flat, C. And then we would make the minor chord diminished by lowering the fifth as well. F, A flat, C flat. Some people will ask, isn't that B? Kinda. It looks like a B, sounds like a B, but it's not a B. It's a C flat. Okay? If we want to make it augmented, then if you look back at your table on the page above, we're going to raise the fifth. So F, A, C sharp, like that. Okay? You'll do the same thing for C chords and G chords because, well, they are all major, so the same operations. If I were on A, then you know that all A chords are A, C, E, A, C, E, A, C, E, A, C, E. And it lives in Minorsville. It means that without any sharps or flats, it's already minor. So if we want to make a minor chord into a diminished chord, we lower the fifth, root third fifth, A, C, E flat. And if we want to make a minor chord major, we raise the third, so A, C sharp, E. And if we want to make it minor chord augmented, first we make it major, so A, C sharp, E. And then we raise the fifth again, right there, so A, C sharp, E sharp. And you might say, well, isn't E sharp the same thing as F? Again, it sounds the same out of context, but F is not part of the A chord. We use E sharp. Some people might feel a little irksome about that to begin with, but over time you'll see that it's nice to have a consistent spelling system. And when you learn about chords in context of keys and scales, you'll understand that they actually mean something when you see something sharp versus a F natural. Okay? B chords, well, it's the same thing, and I'll get you halfway through this. B, D, F, B, D, F, B, D, F, B, D, F. And it lives here on diminished island, so you don't have to do anything. But you will have to sharp things as you go from diminished to minor, and then to major, and then to augmented. And you will end up with a funny note if you get all the way up to augmented. Okay? All right. Now, you want to pause the video here and go back and watch the lecture video on doing sharps and flats at the beginning of the chord, and then come back and see the how do we do this terrifying sheet right here, which we won't do all at one time, but go watch the lecture video on sharps and flats on the beginnings of chords.